the Chancellor, Honorable Chief Guest, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow graduates, the Aga Khan class of 2020, or as a friend once jokingly called us, the Aga Khan class of COVID. This may be an unconventional ceremony. We may be sitting here with masks with our loved ones hundreds of miles away. But let me tell you all, even a global pandemic could not stop us from graduating. So congratulations, AQ class of 2020, you did it. We all finally did it. Before reflecting on all that we are celebrating, I want you all to picture a few very true stories. Aisha is a 4-year-old girl in a village in Pakistan. She is not learning or laughing at school. She is on the ground sweeping floors. She is just one of 22.5 million uneducated children in Pakistan. Simone is an orphan a few days old in Tanzania. Her mother died bleeding on a bus in labor. Tanzania has amongst the highest maternal mortality in the world. Jakuna is a resident nurse in Murang, Kenya. He is the only healthcare provider for 8,000 people. The WHO recommends at least 25 nurses for 10,000 people. Kenya barely has 8. I know this is a rather grim note to start such a joyous occasion on. However, it is with a purpose that I am sharing all of these stories. Today, all of you in this beautiful green regalia are not only celebrating your hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, sacrifices, and accomplishments, you are celebrating so much more. You are celebrating the hope that you symbolize for Aisha, for Simone, for Jakuna, for the thousands of others. You are celebrating being change makers and leaders in a world that needs you, in nations that built you, and when we're facing our worst humanitarian crisis in COVID-19. Now, more than ever before, the world needs doctors, nurses, and midwives. It needs educationists and journalists. It needs health systems experts and epidemiologists. It needs men and women like you to change the landscape, to ensure that such suffering ceases to exist, to ensure that we, as nations and as humanity, are better prepared. And why am I so sure that you and I are so instrumental in this change? That's because I have spent 5 years growing old with many of you. I have spent days at the sports center with many of you. I have spent nights hysterically laughing about exams. I have spent hours worrying about that lecture with all of you. And I have learned what the Aga Khan student embodies. It is commitment, it is resilience, it is leadership, it is talent. And there were tougher days. Not all the days were that easy. There were days when we would have a child begging, pleading, crying with us to help ease the pain. There were days where we accidentally wrote EEGs instead of ECGs. That's a true story. So all of those days, the happy, the sad, the grueling, the gratifying, have culminated in a very deserved today and so many memories. And none of them would have been possible without the security guard, without the librarian, the cook, the housekeeping staff, the administrative staff. Thank you for making every day possible. And thank you to the phenomenal faculty. Thank you to the friends like family. And thank you to those who are happier than we are today, to our parents and our loved ones. We couldn't have done this without you. And finally, thank you for the man with the vision, His Highness the Chancellor, who built our futures. Before I end, I want to leave you all with 2 ideas: family and hope. Today, we are not the Aga Khan University, Nairobi, or Kenya, or UK, or Uganda, or Pakistan. We are simply the Aga Khan University. We are the AKU family, inextricably linked to one another. And like every family, it can be too much at times, but it will always have your back. And today, as we leave the nest, I have the audacity to hope. The hope that if we give it our all, if it is one life that we save, one child that we teach, one story that we change, it is more than enough. It is the hope of a better future together. So let today mark a beginning, not an end. Fellow graduates, especially over this past year, we have been living history. I think it is high time you and I go out there and start making history. So I cannot wait to see all that you achieve. Here is to new beginnings. Thank you.